Have you ever wondered what makes a game truly great? Maybe it's a story that pulls you in, gameplay that gets your adrenaline pumping, or a world you'll never forget. Today, we're embarking on a fascinating journey through 15 games that deserve a perfect 10 out of 10. Red Dead Redemption 2 is an epic tale of life in the Wild West. Arthur Morgan is a man with a complicated fate, faced with a choice between loyalty to his gang and his own convictions. In this world, there's no black and white. Every decision leaves a mark on his soul. Remember how deep in the mountains or in bustling cities, the game allowed you not just to play, but to live the life of a cowboy, where every detail of the environment adds realism? Were you surprised by how minor events and random encounters could drastically change your story? Have you ever wondered what it means to be human when chaos reigns and laws have no value? This game fulfilled my childhood dream, the chance to be in the Wild West. How many games can actually make your dreams come true, even in a virtual world? Which part of Arthur's story was the most significant for you? Feel free to share it, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Let's move on! The Witcher 3 Blood and Wine is an epic expansion that opens up new horizons in the Witcher universe. Toussaint is not just another location. It's a whole world where fairy tale castles coexist with ancient secrets. At the center of events is Geralt, who must unravel a complicated web of intrigue. Do you remember that moment when you realized that behind all the murders stands a creature whose motives make you reconsider everything you knew about monsters? The game presents you with the choice of whether to trust your instincts or give forgiveness a chance. Friends become support, and enemies become trials. As you immerse yourself in this world, you begin to appreciate every detail, realizing how unique it is. Every decision here matters and can change the course of the story. How often do games make us think about such complex questions? Max Payne is a noir shooter, where Max, the protagonist, embarks on a quest for justice on the grim streets of New York. Remember those first moments of the game, the tension when Max discovers the destruction that has entered his life. I still recall this moment as one of the most morally challenging among all existing games. What keeps Max going when it seems there's no hope? Bullet time transforms shootouts into carefully planned battles, and you feel like a hero in a movie. The city's streets, filled with violence and crime, become a real battlefield. How far would you go to find the guilty? Max is not just a hero. He's an anti-hero forced to make tough decisions. Every action you take shapes his path. The game's world is realistic and reminds us that the stakes are high. When I look at Max, I think, how far are we willing to go for justice? The Last of Us is a story of survival in a world destroyed by disaster. Joel and Ellie travel through post-apocalyptic America, and their relationship becomes a key part of the story. Have you ever wondered what it means to be a protector in a world where everything is against you? Each encounter with enemies or infected is unique, requiring tactics and caution. This journey makes us reflect on the nature of humanity and the limits of our morality. The game reminds us that even in the darkest times, there is always room for hope and humanity. The ending immediately comes to mind, where Joel sacrificed the future of humanity to save someone dear to him. Ghost of Tsushima immerses us in the world of samurai, where honor and duty determine every action. Jin Sakai, the protagonist, faces an internal struggle: how to remain faithful to the samurai code when chaos unfolds around him. The story is about the need to choose between tradition and modern methods of combat. What would you do if you had to choose between loyalty to your clan and protecting your homeland at all costs? What makes Ghost of Tsushima a truly unique experience is the interaction with the surrounding world and the people you meet along your journey. Which companion story had the greatest impact on you? Personally, for me, it was Ryuzo's story. Mass Effect opens up the vast reaches of the galaxy, where the fate of entire civilizations depends on your decisions. As Commander Shepard, you assemble a team aboard the Normandy. Each character is a unique individual with their own story and skills, and their relationships with Shepard become an important part of the story. The dialogue and combat system allow you to fully immerse yourself in a world where every step is a personal trial. All your decisions matter and affect the plot and character development. This science fiction world invites reflection on friendship, loyalty, and responsibility for the fate of others. The scale of this epic inspires reflections on the future and the role of each in its formation. Mass Effect is not just a game. It's a chance to be part of a universe where every choice reflects on the world order. By asking questions about the nature of power and freedom, the game leaves a deep mark on the heart of everyone who finds themselves in this galactic saga. Far Cry 3 takes us to the tropical island of Rook, where madness and chaos rule. Jason Brody is an ordinary guy forced to become a survivor to save his friends. However, the real star of this game is not you, but the antagonist Vaz. How often have you encountered a character that evokes both fear and admiration? The island becomes the stage for Jason's psychological struggle, and each of his steps brings us closer to uncovering the mystery behind the chaos. The hero's path is filled with moral dilemmas and difficult decisions. Which ones left the biggest mark on your memory? This game raises many questions about human nature and the limits of endurance. It constantly reminds us that even in the most challenging conditions, strength can be found to overcome. The game invites you to ask, how far are you willing to go to maintain your humanity in a world where it's almost gone? Dead Space 2 takes us to a space station where fear becomes your constant companion. Isaac Clarke returns to face nightmares that haunt him at every turn. Were you amazed by how the game's atmosphere captures you from the first moment? Every corridor of the Titan station hides horrors, and you must deal with inner demons that become a reality. Have you ever wondered how you would handle such fear? Dead Space 2 offers not just a physical challenge, but also a psychological one, forcing you to confront your deepest fears. Which encounter with monsters or game moment left the greatest impression on you? The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim offers endless possibilities for exploration and adventure, immersing us in a world where anyone can become a hero. Dovahkiin is the last Dragonborn, and his fate is intertwined with ancient legends. Have you ever experienced the feeling of absolute freedom when you could choose who to be and how to change the world around you? Every decision you make shapes a story full of battles with dragons and the exploration of ancient ruins. Skyrim is a world where every detail of the environment comes alive, from snow-capped mountains to mysterious caves. What part of your adventure left the greatest mark? Perhaps it was the moment you first felt the power of the dragon and realized that the fate of the world was in your hands. And yes, if you have played Skyrim less than 5 times, you are not even a Dovahkiin. A Plague Tale. Innocence takes us into the dark atmosphere of medieval France, where darkness and despair become constant companions. Amicia and her younger brother Hugo try to survive in a world plagued by chaos. Have you ever wondered what it means to be defenseless when every step could be your last? The relationship between brother and sister adds depth to the story, turning it into an emotional journey. A Plague Tale. Innocence is not just a game. It's an emotional journey through darkness and hope. It's a story that reminds us that true strength lies in faith and love, and in the ability to protect those we care about. Baldur's Gate 3 takes us to a fantasy world where every decision affects the plot's development and your character's fate. You play as a hero infected with the illithid parasite and must find a way to remove the curse. What does it feel like to know that each of your actions changes the course of history and the lives of other characters? The world around you is full of magic and secrets, and your allies are not just companions, but friends whose lives intertwine with yours. Every decision I make shapes my adventure, and in this lies the true magic of the game, which leaves a mark on the heart and inspires new discoveries. Which of the stories told in the game had the greatest impact on you? For me, it was probably Gale's story, but I won't spoil it in case you haven't played this masterpiece. Resident Evil 4 Remake takes us back to a world where danger lurks at every turn. As Leon Kennedy, you embark on a mission to rescue the president's daughter, facing threats that never let up for a moment. What is it like to feel the tension and horror that accompany your every action? The combat system and resource management require maximum concentration and caution. The sense of constant threat and the need to make difficult decisions make this game a true classic of the genre. Every moment here is a challenge that makes you experience fear and excitement, and that is what makes Resident Evil 4 Remake a truly unforgettable adventure. Elden Ring calls you to the vast lands of the Between, where demigods battle for power and you must restore order. This world is full of dangers and mysteries waiting to be discovered. What is it like to face a world that challenges you at every step? Every encounter with a monster or boss becomes a real test of your skills and patience. The world of Elden Ring is open to exploration, and every journey leads to new discoveries. Which battle or puzzle left the greatest impression? Maybe it was the battle with Malenia, or the storyline of the legendary but mad Radon. Assassin's Creed 2 immerses us in the Renaissance era, where intrigues and conspiracies become part of everyday life. Ezio Auditore da Firenze learns the art of the assassin to avenge his family and protect justice. Have you ever felt part of a great story where every step leads to a new discovery? Parkour and stealthy assassinations become your tools in the fight against the Order of the Templars. Encounters with historical figures like Leonardo da Vinci enrich the experience and make the journey even more exciting. It's not just a story of revenge and honor. It's a game where you must learn to trust your instincts and go against the tide to achieve justice and change the course of history. Cyberpunk 2077. Phantom Liberty invites players to dive into the dark corners of Night City, where technology and morality become enemies. V is drawn into a web of intrigue, where every decision can lead to unexpected consequences. Do you remember when you first felt that the city was alive, and you were just a part of it? How did you cope with the challenges when your actions began to change the lives of others? The expansion adds new storylines and expands the game's possibilities, allowing you to explore even deeper aspects of this cyberpunk world. Perhaps you wondered how far you can go to change your fate and what it means to be free in a world where freedom is a commodity.